Crystal. I hope you're doing well. This is Ashley, one of your developers. I just want to take a couple moments of your time and just explain what I did with the two resumes that I created for you as I send them over. So, the resume that you're viewing right now looks quite plain, right? Well, fear not. Um, what this is it is a resume to get you an interview. And you might be thinking, well, duh. So resumes are designed to get you an interview. That's the whole purpose of them. Well, what you may not be aware of, or you may be aware of, especially since you have a ton of hiring experience. And please forgive me if you already have knowledge of this, but just in case you don't, a lot of corporations, they have what's called an applicant tracking system in place, otherwise known as an ATS. And so companies will use that to kind of weed out applications. And it could be the tiniest thing, as like, for instance, you have italics used in your resume, and that will automatically put your resume out of the running for that position. Text boxes, like all that fun stuff. So what I did here was I created a very plain looking resume. The wording, however, is not so plain. So just going through, I give you a professional summary statement in this resume. What that is this tells your employer who you are, what you do, and what you bring to the table. I took a lot of this information from Coursera's certification course, yours, based off of like what you should be able to do whenever you're finished certifying. I also went on Meta's job site, not the job boards that you'll have access to, but their actual job listings, and I found a data engineer position, and I found that one of their biggest values for that position is they really want an employee who takes ownership in the end-to-end data engineering component of like the total solution. So I worked that into your professional summary. So I geared this towards Meta itself, okay? This professional summary statement should be changed with any company you go to because you want to gear it towards them. And what I mean by that is whenever you're looking at a job listing, you can kind of tell what a company values in its employee, like what specifically they're looking for. So what I would do is I would manipulate this your professional summary to reflect a value of theirs that you also share, of course, because we don't want to lie on a resume ever. But yeah, so if you incorporate one of your shared values that they have at the company, that also sets you apart from other applicants. So going down, again, skills, this came straight from Coursera. This is everything that you will know how to do at the end of your certification, just written in a way that puts you as a confident database engineer, which I'm sure you already are. And then I want to go down to your experience. So you'll notice that the tasks that you have are a lot less. And that is because you're going to get the opportunity to discuss your previous work experience once you're in the door for that interview. And I don't want to minimize any of your experience because actually your managerial experience is going to go beautifully in your new career. I think there's a lot of leadership opportunity in being a database engineer, and you also have to work collaboratively quite a bit with other people, especially since you're going for a career in software engineering that is more supportive for apps, right? And so you're going to be working on teams. I highly doubt you'll be working by yourself unless you take a position, maybe with a smaller company that's not necessarily app-based. So definitely, whenever you're interviewing, definitely talk up your experience. And then I wanted to include leadership because you have done such a phenomenal job with creating an employee resource group through your career, and then also like bringing up the innovation implementation team. This is huge. I think it's fantastic that you're able to do that. bringing other people, other employees from all of your company to come together and to see like how you can make the business better. I want like your future employer to see this in their pile of resumes. This is going to set you apart. This is what also makes you special. So this resume here, I would recommend submitting to any online job posting that you see, okay? Now, for your other one, oh, where'd it go? Okay, so this is your second resume. As you can see, it's a lot more pretty. This resume, I would recommend actually placing in the hands of, well, maybe someone you're networking with. So maybe you're at a networking event and you're going there with a purpose. Bring some of these resumes with you. Pass them off to those who you've made a connection with, that you're interested in working for. Or whenever you get your interview, leave one of these resumes with your interviewer. This will definitely help them remember you. And especially in like the field that you're going into, your skills being laid out like this in a data format, beautiful, right? We want to set you apart. So that's what I recommend. I don't recommend submitting this online. This will not get through an ATS system. As far as your skills go, this was my guesstimates as far as what was kind of listed in Coursera. So you can go in and modify these however you like. So you can just double click into the table and then you'll see this bar pop up. You can click edit data and then edit data again. And then a little Excel box will pop up. So these are in decimal format and you can just adjust to have your percentages however you would like. And you can even add, if you prefer, like to add in more skills or rename anything you would like. And after you're finished, you just click the X and it'll update through here. Okay? Other than that, all of the information is the exact same as the other resume, with the exception, I do have a LinkedIn spot for you. If you have a LinkedIn, I highly recommend putting it here. If you do not have a LinkedIn, I highly recommend adding it here or creating one and adding it here. LinkedIn is a fantastic site for you to network on, especially with other software engineers or database engineers, whichever you'd like to call. As far as education goes, I recommend whenever you finish with your capstone projects, if you have that tied to a link on a website, I recommend adding that here for your future employer. So that way they can kind of get an idea of like the work that you did in your coursework, since you are pretty new at this. Now, the one thing that is extremely different about this resume versus the other one is an objective statement. So this is geared towards maybe gaining an internship. So again, this is saying who you are, but it's also saying what you're looking to do, okay? So this is saying, hey, I am a database engineer student and I'm wanting to gain more expertise. This is how I want to gain my expertise. This is where I want to gain my expertise. And I want to continue using these skills that I've already grabbed in order to continue making this part of your company better. So again, this is something that needs to be modified with every company that you apply to. Companies will know if you are just doing something generic here. So I highly recommend tailoring this to fit each company that you apply to. But I wanted to specifically point out internship because you had mentioned that you were looking for something more part-time. So that way you can hire someone to replace you and have them trained so that way your company is still supported even after you're gone, which I think that's amazing, by the way. I would recommend kind of seeing if on the job boards after you finish your certification, if there's any opportunities for internships. A lot of internships are part-time and they are, like, you'll be compensated for them, especially in the career field that you're going into. So that is something to consider. I would not rule that out. So you'll get experience, you'll get extra compensation while you're gaining new skills, and you'll also get to train the employee that will replace you eventually. So other than that, that is what I have for you. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. You are going to do great. I'm excited for you, and congratulations already, because it will happen for you. So, thank you.